Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thermodynamics 1 for the fall 2024 semester. This is course EGN 33443, section RVC, and it's going to be a full fall course, and it's all going to be asynchronous and online. So before we get started, just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Dr. Bootson. I'm the Associate Chair in the Department of Mechanical and Materials Engineering, and I've been teaching thermodynamics since 2019 when I joined FIU. Prior to FIU, I was a race car engineer and worked a lot on thermodynamics of engines and did my PhD in internal combustion engines. So hopefully you enjoyed this course, and we'll get started in this video introducing how the course works and how the course is going to work for this whole semester. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me. So first things first, my contact information is here below. You have my email, kbootson@fiu.edu. You have my phone number, which is 808-498-9276. That is actually my cell phone number and not my office number. So if you want to contact me by phone, you can definitely use that number. You can also use my office number, but it's easier to reach me if you use my cell phone number. My office hours this semester are going to be Monday, Wednesday from 12 to 1 p.m. or by appointment. My office hours will be in person. However, I will also provide a Zoom link to my office hours, and we'll be on Zoom during my office hours if you need to meet with me. But I'll try and prioritize in-person office hours, but obviously some of you are not in person, so that can help as well if you need to access. So Thermodynamics 1, what are we going to do in this class? Well, we're going to address fundamental concepts of basic thermodynamics, including first and second law topics, equations of state, and general thermodynamics relationships. And all learning activities and resources are required unless stated otherwise. So everything that we're going to do in this course and that you're going to have to do in this course are going to be required unless it's told otherwise and it's said this is just for informational purposes or anything like that. And to get started, obviously, if you got to this video, it means that you already got to reading probably the syllabus, and click on introduction video here at the bottom, and your course modules will be the next thing that you want to see. So you definitely want to start with accessing module 0, getting started, but essentially you're going to read through the syllabus, you're going to watch this video, and then go through your course modules. And we're going to do just that in this video. So one of the things I really want to do about this course is to try and make this course as in-person-like as possible, even though we are doing it fully asynchronous. So think of this course as a in-person class, and you're just watching videos instead of going to class. And after watching the videos, you're going to do some exercises, you're going to do some study problems, and you're going to do some quizzes and some exams. But that also means that since it's a asynchronous class, I expect you to try and reach out to me and reach out in meeting with me outside of class as well. Okay. And Canvas is going to be the #1 place for communication. So try to use Canvas as much as possible whenever you're communicating with me. But if you need to communicate in different ways, you have my email, you have my phone number if you need to do so. Okay, so let's get started with the syllabus. So we're going to click on the syllabus here, and this is what you're going to see as a student. So the syllabus has some repeated information compared to the home page at the start. So professor information with office hours, turnaround time, 24 hours. So I'll try and get back to you within 24 hours. And you have here the Zoom link for the office hours that will be updated for the course. So you'll have access to the Zoom link for the office hours. Okay, so course description and purpose and course objectives, I'm going to let you read that in your own time, okay? So you'll read that in your own time, and you can see really what the course is about. And the course is going to follow a textbook pretty closely, which we'll talk about in a second. We're also putting all the topics covered here, so you'll see all the topics covered and step by step how you're going to get through the course. Then some important information, policies, technical requirements, skills, accessibility and accommodation, academic misconduct statement, all the general things from FIU that you're supposed to use, and then the course prerequisites. Hopefully you have those prerequisites if you're in this course. Now, the one thing that's important about the course and about the syllabus is that the syllabus is essentially a contract between the professor and the student. So make sure that you read the syllabus, and this is kind of like our contract. So if I say I'm going to get back to you within 24 hours, those are 24 business hours. If I don't do so often, then you can let me know, hey, you're not respecting your contract. In the same way, if I put an assignment due date at a certain time and that assignment is not respected in the same way, then the syllabus is there to enforce that rule, okay? One quick thing about the general FIU things, if you do need accessibility and accommodation, the DRC or Disability Resource Center is there to help you out. So please reach out to them as soon as possible, and they'll reach out to me to organize with you what we need to do. Okay, so moving forward, the next thing is textbook and course materials. So for the textbook for this class, we're going to use Thermodynamics and Engineering Approach by Yunus Engel and Michael Bowles, which is the 10th edition. If you do have an older edition of the textbook, you can use that as well. There's no real necessity completely to have the 10th edition, but obviously the course is going to be based mostly on the 10th edition, but also on the 9th edition, so you can get away with the 9th edition if you want to. But the 10th edition is the most up-to-date, so I suggest you get that one. It is a demanding course, and we are going to be putting a little bit more demand on you than if you were in an in-person course, because in an in-person course, you have the ability to interact a little bit more with other students and a little bit more with the professor. So it's really up to you to try and not fall behind on the course and to keep this course up to date as much as possible and keep watching lectures and not fall too far behind, okay? So here are the expectations of this course that we have. So this is an online course, which means that most, if not all, of the coursework will be conducted online. Expectations for the performance in an online course are the same as for a traditional course. In fact, online courses require a degree of self-motivation, self-discipline, and technology skills, okay? So make sure you have that self-motivation, and if you don't, make sure you schedule some meetings with me so that we can talk about how you can motivate yourself for the course. And from your side, part of your contract is to review the Getting Started page, interact online with instructors and peers, review and follow the course calendar and weekly outlines, respond to emails within 2 days. Again, if you can't respond within 2 days, it's not the end of the world, but obviously I would request that from you if possible. If I send you an email about the course, to try and reply as soon as possible. And then the instructor will respond to emails within 24 hours and grade assignments within 3 days of the assignment deadline. And that means 3 business days. So if you have an assignment that's due on Friday, I'm not going to grade it by Sunday or Monday. I might grade it for Tuesday or Wednesday, but sometimes it's faster. Okay. Now, next thing is the course detail. So communication will take place via Canvas announcement and Canvas inbox. So whenever there's something I want to announce to the whole class, I'm going to use Canvas announcements, which is right here, and you should get a notification of that announcement. Okay, if it's something urgent or something that's happening at the last minute, I might also use Canvas inbox to send you all a message so that you receive it in your inbox in addition to Canvas announcements. Okay, but I'll try and use Canvas announcements as much as possible. Assessments. So this course is going to be a little bit different than any other course you've had potentially. And this course will not have any assigned homework, okay? So you're not going to have assigned homework within the course. So that means that you will be getting some study problems instead of some homework to practice for your quizzes, okay? So you're going to practice for your quizzes with a study problem, and then that should get you ready for your quizzes, okay? So you can see that there will be 4 quizzes throughout the course worth 30% of your grade. Quiz 1 will be a 24-hour quiz, and you'll be able to see the dates and times in the assignments tab here, which we'll see later, as well as in the assignments right below in the assignment detail right here in the syllabus. Quiz 2 will be a 48-hour quiz. So those will be a take-home quizzes. You just take the quiz and you submit it at the end. The 24-hour quiz could be a timed quiz, or it could be you have the whole 24 hours. So typically the first quiz is a timed quiz within that 24-hour period. After that, the quizzes are a little bit longer and allow you to take the whole 48 hours to do it. So you get a quiz and you basically, it's just like a homework, you would do it and then submit. Now, one thing that's important about a quiz is that since it is a quiz, you're not supposed to work with other people on it. Okay, it is a quiz and it's not a homework. And so that means that you have to produce original responses to your quizzes. Okay, and most quizzes will be designed in an open-ended manner, which means that you'll have to answer questions not with all the same answers. So they might not have one single answer. You might have to make some design decisions where you have to come up with a certain parameter and you can choose that parameter, and therefore your response will be unique compared to other people. And then to keep the course very simple, there'll be 4 quizzes. The last quiz will be a group quiz. Quizzes will be directly graded in SpeedGrader, and feedback will be provided within 4 weekdays. And then exams, there will be 2 exams throughout the course worth 70% of your grade. So there will be a midterm exam, which will be 30% of your grade. And that's going to take place on October 16th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And these are mandatory times, so you need to check your schedule early on and check that you're available during that time. If you're not available during that time, you have to reach out to me, okay? And your final exam will be 40% of your grade and will be on December 11th from 6:30 to 8:30, okay? It'll be an online exam. That means you will get your questions online and you'll submit your exam by the deadline time. Exams will be graded directly in SpeedGrader again, and the feedback will be provided within 3 weekdays. And a general rubric will be used for all problems and can be scaled to each question answered. So you have to make sure that you're ready and that you know all your assignment times, okay? So here are all the assignment times, and the assignment times are subject to change, but hopefully I won't change them. The only changes I would make would be in your favor, so maybe a little bit later, or if I give you more time for the quizzes, for example, or more time for the exams. Okay, so I'll try not to change those dates, especially the exams, but the quizzes could change and could increase the time of solving that you have to do them. Okay, so very simple. September 12th, October 4th, October 31st, and November 15th, you have quizzes due. And then October 16th, you have your your midterm, and then final exam is on December 11th. So very simple class structure to follow, and hopefully that will help. Grading will be as follows. You'll have 4 items of 15 points each for a total of 60 points for 30%. Then you'll have 1 midterm exam and 1 final exam worth 30 and 40%. Grading scheme is here. It's a typical grading scheme, but the only difference is that we have 93% for an A instead of 95%. If I use standards as 95%, I feel like 95% is too high, so I change it to 93. The rest is all pretty much standard, okay? Another thing about exams and quizzes, there will be no honor lock used for the exams and quizzes. So there's no honor lock, but that means that you need to create original work and you need to respect deadlines, okay? So I'm putting the onus onto you to create your own original work, even though we're not using honor lock or anything like that, okay? Because I don't believe honor lock works that well anyways, and I'd rather you just work on problems by yourself and try and solve it without the additional stress of working with honor lock. So last things for the student outcomes. So this is a relationship of the course to student outcomes, so you can read those in your own time. And your course calendar is shown here with goal completion dates for each module, but we'll go into modules for that really quickly after. And then you'll see there will be some quiz and exam solutions here, and your final exam review, you'll have a formula sheet final plus a final exam review, which will be released in due time. Okay, so hopefully that covers the syllabus in all the ways that you need. But again, if you have any questions, please let me know. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at modules. So modules for the course are all released. So introduction video, you must watch before module 1. Then module 1 starts introduction and basic concepts. The goal completion date of 8:30, so pretty soon after the start of the course. And each module, module 1 overview, module 1 resources, each module is already released fully. So that means that you have access to all the modules from the start of the class. So technically, if you wanted to, you could go through the 6 modules in 3 weeks and be completely done with the course if you wanted to. You would have to wait for the exams, but you can go at your own pace in the modules. Now, these goal completion dates are very important, okay? Okay, and you're going to have to follow these goal completion dates to be successful in this class. So make sure that you look at the goal completion dates, look at each module, and see how much there is to do in each module to be up to date. Now, doing a module does not mean just watching the videos for the module. It means also doing the assignments for the module, which is the study problems. So I'll take module 2 as an example to start with. So you'll see that all the modules are laid out in the same way, and it's very simple to follow. So there's a overview, and then there's a detail for each one. So the overview will give you some course learning objectives and some module learning objectives, and then the learning resources and activities. So activities, it says watch module 2 videos in order available in module resources, attempt module 2 study problems, and then use module 2 study problem solutions to verify your attempt. Take 24-hour quiz 1. Okay, and here you have all your resources. So if I go to the next page, you'll see that all the resources are laid out in a very simple way. So you have your lecture notes, Appendix 1 and Module 2 study problem solutions, and then you have your lecture notes with alternative text. So those are all the lecture notes that are using alternative text so that you can use the text to help you navigate through this. So you can click, for example, on, so you would watch all the lectures here, which are videos. These link directly to YouTube, so it's very easy to access. You can access on your phone very easily as well. And you can speed up, slow down the video as much as you want. You also have the times for each video. Then as you're watching, you can use the lecture notes here to kind of guide you as you're watching. So if you click on one of them, we can see that, for example, here, if it loads, give it a second to load. We can see that we have all the notes for Module 1, Part 2. And you'll notice that the notes are typed up, so you have all the typed up notes. Now, in the video, I do all my notes by hand, okay? So all the notes are done by hand. And if you want the notes by hand, I can send you the notes by hand as well in a Canvas message as well, okay? Then once you're done with watching the lectures and using the lecture notes to help you out, you can then go to Module 2 study problems, which we'll click on right now so you can see the study problems. Give it a second to load. Hopefully it loads. Yep, it's loading finally. Okay, so Module 2 study problems, we have the same kind of thing. We have some study problems that you can do for quiz practice. So you can see 4 for quiz practice and then some problems on pure substances. All the problems are typed out, so you have access to all those problems. And based on all those problems, you'll then complete the problems. And then what I would suggest is to really go through the problems and do the problems without looking at the solutions first, and then eventually looking at the solutions, okay? So it's very important to do all the problems if you can first, and then look at the solutions to the problems. So the solutions are provided to you so that you can help study and help you get ready for your quizzes. But it's important not to look at the solutions too fast because you might think that you know how to do a problem, but you actually don't. Okay, so that's how the modules are all laid out, and they're all laid out in exactly the same way. So you can kind of go through those in your own time. And remember, try to stick to the goal completion date. So for example, for module 2, the goal completion date, if we go back to modules, the goal completion date is 9/11, which is right before your quiz 1. Okay, so that means that for quiz 1, you need to have module 2 pretty much done. Okay, or at least the part of it that says for quiz practice. Okay, and I'll put some announcements throughout to tell you exactly what the quizzes are going to be on and what lectures they're going to be on, so it'll be easy to follow and to keep track of things with the announcements as well. Okay, and you do have time in this course, but you also can't fall too far behind. If you leave your Module 2 lectures to do them like on the 10th of September, it's going to be very, very challenging. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you was to show you the assignments. So assignments, just like we saw before, the upcoming assignments, they're all in order here. You can see by date or by type. So by type, you would see that you have quizzes, midterm exam, and final exam. If not by date, they're all sorted by date, and make sure you mark those dates and you make sure that you mark when they're available. And you can see that they're already set to 24, 48 hours. So you see September 11th to September 12th, October 2nd to October 4th, October 30th to 31st, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Quiz 4 right now is November 8th and November 15th. Those dates might change a little bit, but for now, they're planned to be those dates. It's a 1-week quiz, so you have a week to do it, and you can do it as a group, so you can work on it with a group and try and solve it as a group. Okay, and then we have our midterm and final exam, and that should conclude everything that we have. I also have a Zoom tab here. So I might use a Zoom tab throughout the course to maybe do like some optional sessions throughout the course. So they're not going to be mandatory sessions because I can't have any mandatory synchronous sessions, but we might have some sessions just to do some study problems or to review some things together live so that we spend a little bit of time live. But again, the best way to interact with me is really to go to my office hours. If you can't attend my office hours, you can make an appointment at any other time. Okay, I'm available a lot of the week, so we can meet either on Zoom or in person other times during the week as well, so that we can meet and talk about the course and do some study problems. And the people that do best in this course are definitely the people who reach out to me and try to solve their problems, make sure they're on time, and make sure they're on time with everything. So that concludes this introduction video. And then the next step would be to explore the Canvas for the course and then start watching the Module 1, Part 1 video in Module 1. So we'll see you around during the semester. If there's any questions, please let me know. And good luck in this course.